Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Duel of the Takes. Today, we're doing a very special episode, a topic we've had requested since the inception of this show. We are ranking the Disney Renaissance movies. These are perhaps the most prolific Disney movies. We are also joined by a special guest, Mr. Matt King.
Yes, what an honor. Thank you, Nate. Thank you for having me. I didn't even know you had a podcast when we were hanging out for like 4th of July weekend. You were like mentioning, "Oh, I got to go edit my podcast." And my eyes just like widened and I said, "What? You have a podcast?" And you go, "Yeah, we just like debate and discuss films with my friends." And I go, I am going to be on this, whether you're going to say yes or no. Now we're here. Now we're doing it because I just want to geek out about all of this. And this is so cool. You have this with your friends. And thank you for having me on.
Hey, absolutely. Thanks for being here. I think we've watched a couple of these movies together, and you were quoting almost every line. It was very impressive.
Any opportunity where I can lash out all the references I know about them without looking like a crazy person, this is the opportunity to do it. So I'm going to take advantage of it.
At least you can quote good movies. I'm stuck quoting like Revenge of the Sith for the rest of my life.
I'm still quoting The Phantom Menace because that one.
Love it.
With negotiations, we've lost all communications.
Oh, man. That is my fourth favorite Star Wars movie.
A list for another time.
Yeah, another time. We got to rank these ones out, so let's do it.
Matt, you're going to go first with your number 12. What is the worst of the Disney Renaissance?
Well, Nate, if you asked me this question when I was a kid, I think that this movie would have been ranked higher on my list. Now, being an adult, revisiting them, this one, unfortunately, is hitting the very bottom, and that is DuckTales, the movie Treasure of the Lost Lamp.
It's not my number 12, but it's my number 11. So I'm like,
I'm in the same place as Josh here. I tried watching these movies both yesterday. I hadn't seen The Rescuers Down Under as a kid, so that was my first time watching it, and I thought it was boring.
How dare you? How dare you, Jory?
Whoa.
Oh, ooh.
I tried watching DuckTales immediately after, and I thought it was more entertaining, but I didn't finish it.
Yeah, and to be honest, I didn't really finish it either. And I also wasn't a fan of the DuckTales franchise, so I couldn't really relate to it. And I also am just not a fan of the ducks of Disney. This movie, I just feel like, is a movie just to put on for your kids. It's not something the adults are like, "Oh, this is a good one." I don't feel like it aged that well for my mind, body, and soul. So it's last, but no hard feelings. It's just, I need to take like an ibuprofen after watching it.
I was excited to go back to this movie because I hadn't seen it since I was a kid, and it did not age well at all. DuckTales, The Treasure of the Lost Lamp, is pretty much a made-for-TV like special, and it shouldn't really have been in this list.
Well said.
it seems like the panel is not leaning towards a Rescuers Down Under debate right now. Is there anybody else that would like to nominate a movie for the last spot?
No, I think it's DuckTales.
I think it's DuckTales.
I don't think anyone's going to die on the hill of DuckTales Treasure of the Lost Lamp being something like noteworthy. All right, Alden. It's your turn for number 11.
So I think my next lowest is going to be hard to argue, so I'm going to put Pocahontas here.
Oh, yes. I had the same for 11. Pocahontas, 11.
Pocahontas is around this level, but there's one movie that I dislike more and was my number 12. I think number 11 should be The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I still have The Rescuers Down Under at my number 12.
No, Rescuers is a good movie. You're just being mean.
Are you Watchmening Rescuers Down Under, Jory?
Am I Watchmening Rescuers Down Under? I didn't know this movie was so well beloved.
It's not. It's an underrated classic that more people need to see, and I'm going to elevate it over movies that I have significant problems with, like Pocahontas and Hunchback of Notre Dame.
That opening shot of Rescuers Down Under, where you start out in like you're in the outback of Australia and there's all those flowers, and it just hits, and it's this mega zoom in shot where you're flying a worm's eye point of view all across the ground, and it's that dun 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 dun, the chills that it gives. I have to keep arguing it because I don't feel like any movie like hits that main vein like Rescuers Down Under. And Pocahontas, what? They have this sugar-coated conflict between natives and English settlers. It's just this distorted storytelling of history, and I'm just not a fan of it.
She married the wrong John.
Yeah, she married the wrong John.
Definitely siding on Nate on this one. I think that The Hunchback of Notre Dame is not as good as Pocahontas, and Pocahontas might be problematic for a myriad of reasons, but I think that Pocahontas has a lot more going for it animation-wise and music-wise than The Hunchback of Notre Dame does. The Hunchback of Notre Dame has a few good moments, but I don't think that as a whole it holds up as much as Pocahontas does.
Never really knew that The Hunchback of Notre Dame was a Victor Hugo adapted story. The Darkest One, it deals with heavily religious and political issues, but there is no bangers. Pocahontas is better because Colors of the Wind, that's a banger.
Colors of the Wind sequence in Pocahontas gives me the same chills. All the hairs on my neck stand up, just like what you were talking about the intro of The Rescuers Down Under. I rewatched all these movies in the past 8 days, and I'm suffering for it right now mentally.
Sometimes when it's like the fall and there's like a lot of leaves on the ground, I like catch myself trying to run really, really fast in it just to like emulate that spirit of her having a trail of leaves, following behind me. Yeah, and my friends just look at me awkwardly, like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "You wouldn't understand."
I was depressed after watching Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I will say one thing in Hunchback's favor. I do like that Frollo is like an actual villain, whereas like the rest of the Disney villains, it's like, okay, you're like the cartoon antagonist, we get it, but Frollo's just like, nah, I just murdered your mom and I'm about to burn this chick because she's hot. Like, yo, Frollo's not fucking around out here.
And you got Demi Moore, and she does a little bit of like a striptease in Hunchback. She's dancing up on that pole in front of that town.
You know what? Actually, Hunchback is number one because of sex appeal.
Yeah.
Look at that disgusting display. Yes, sir.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. You want to help support Duel of the Takes and look sexy as all hell doing it? Well, we have a great offer for you. Right now, Pierre Ardennes is offering a special deal on their whole inventory of European-style timepieces and wristwatches for our fans. Head over to pierreardennes.com and use promo code NATEM25 at checkout to get 25% off your order. It helps the show, and it'll help you make an impression wearing a sexy new timepiece on your wrist. Number 10, Jory. I know you're going to say The Rescuers Down Under. I think Pocahontas was in discussion as well.
I'm going to hold off on my Rescuers take because it seems like I am just out of whack on this one.
Rescuers is very low on my list. I'm actually with you, Jory.
Yeah, I'll go with Rescuers Down Under it. What we were saying about Hunchback of Notre Dame and Pocahontas being like, oh, too dark for a Disney movie, kind of depressing, a little problematic. The Rescuers Down Under is straight up boring. What happens after that intro? It takes us through that entire thing and it's like, okay, this little kid gets kidnapped. The rescuers are going to save him. And then the rescuers exit the story until the very end.
My main problem with Rescuers Down Under is that it doesn't feel like it's part of this renaissance. It felt like a movie that just so happened to come out after The Little Mermaid.
Characters thrive so well in this script, treats its audience as mature as you can for a children's movie. Like the whole scene where they're trying to get John Candy Seagull or whatever he's called, an albatross named Wilbur, to like take them to Australia. In a normal kids movie, they'd have this big debate with him. Then the main characters would have to lie to him and say that they're going there for a certain thing. But this movie is so important for kids because the moment that Bernard and Miss Bianca mention they're going to Australia to rescue a kid that's been kidnapped and is in danger, silly, wacky sidekick character John Candy's Wilbur literally goes, oh, we're leaving now. This is important. And I think that that's something that should be valued in a list of movies that the main target audience is children, because I think that this really shows what responsible adults should look like in a lot of these movies where the adult characters are just villains or idiots.
Well, I agree with you. And if I feel like we're on that like sports show, and if I was in charge, I could like send you points, like little upvotes being like, yes, 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 I like what you're saying. If Rescuers Down Under needs to be a little down under on our list, I'll let them have it.
One more vote to hear.
Both of the scenes talked about just now were what I was going to bring up, with the intro being as strong as it was, and then as soon as they got to Wilbur's.
Both of those scenes are in the first like 15, 20 minutes of the movie.
When I was a kid, our McDonald's, I kid you not, had a chandelier in the middle of the McDonald's. I think a really cheap looking chandelier looking back on it, but in my mind, every time I see a chandelier, I always think of the Rescuers Down Under.
Are we putting Pocahontas at number 10 or are we putting Rescuers Down Under at number 10? Alden.
Pocahontas.
Alden, Matt, Nate, do you guys all want Rescuers Down Under higher? Because then I won't even try.
I have it a little bit higher in my list, but I don't think it needs to be like top 5 or anything crazy.
No, Nate, I agree with you, but Nate, like, If they don't like it, just give it to them. Like I will always hold it close to my heart.
Matt, this is a tooth and nail show.
I can throw my towel in on Rescuers Down Under, but I just want you guys to disagree with it to know it's really beautifully well done and it holds a special place in Disney animated history. And that's why it's the only reason why I think it's just a little bit up there. But
Hell yeah, Rescuers Down Under, number 9.
Here at number 8, the movies that have been in discussion are Beauty and the Beast, Hercules, and The Little Mermaid. Of those, Beauty and the Beast is the one I have lowest.
what other movie on this list has ever been nominated for Best Picture?
I think that the best animated feature category should have been added well before, so movies like Beauty and the Beast could thrive. A Best Picture nomination for Beauty and the Beast? I mean, it's fine. It's a good movie.
Oh, are you kidding? Wait, are you kidding me, guys? I might just log off right now if this is how it's going to be, and we're treating Beauty and the Beast.
Matt, where do you have Hercules? Do you have it above or below Beauty and the Beast?
Hercules is below Beauty.
I'm with you there.
Same for me.
Opinion, I don't really enjoy it that much, but it does have a really solid soundtrack. If the argument is going to be made, I'm fine with Hercules going here instead.
I just think Hercules, like, it can only get so high because I feel like when it comes to the Disney Renaissance, it's one of the more forgetful ones. It's got really bad pacing issues where Beauty and the Beast, you do remember it beat by beat a lot.
I feel like alone James Woods' Hades is better than most of the characters in Beauty and the Beast.
You can say it's one of the cheesiest morals is like, don't judge a book by its cover, but it's like the most classic fairy tale. I mean, I can let y'all bring it down a little bit.
I really liked Meg as a character. I thought that she was really flushed out for like a romantic lead. Danny DeVito voicing Phil is probably the best like sidekick character out of this long list of movies that have cheesy sidekick characters. I do think Beauty and the Beast is a better movie, but I had more fun rewatching.
And there's Baby Pegasus.
Yeah, Baby Pegasus is better than Baby Yoda. You heard it here.
Awesome. Hercules number 8.
I guess I would have to go to The Little Mermaid, which was number 9 on my list.
I agree to an extent. I feel like The Little Mermaid's importance in kicking off this era cannot be understated.
Yeah, The Little Mermaid saved Disney animation, period.
Personally, I would still like to see Beauty and the Beast under The Little Mermaid.
This is where I turn and say Beauty and the Beast is my number 7. I think it should go here.
I disagree. Little Mermaid is lower for me.
Did you guys grow up with girls in your house?
Yes,
Yes.
and that's
Dude, Under the Sea, Kiss the Girl, Little Mermaid soundtrack is really good. Beauty and the Beast has a lot of like sappier, kind of slower songs. And then it's got Be Our Guest, which is like the only musical song. Like Beauty and the Beast feels like a step forward in terms of the animation quality and in terms of bringing this like critical reception along with that success. I would rather watch Little Mermaid before I watch Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, good point. My only thing that I don't like about The Little Mermaid, I love the songs. Oh my gosh, the amount of chills I get from all the songs. I just don't like the characters. I find Ariel to be so self-absorbed. She's so crude to Flounder. She never really looks him in the eye the entire time. That poor little fish has to follow her, put up with all of her shenanigans. I just find all the characters to be very, very cruel and two-dimensional, but that's just how I see it. But you know what, guys? This is your podcast, not mine. So.
all I'm saying, Matt, is Ariel is redheaded royalty and Flounder is a simple peon. She should be lucky that he gets treated half as well as he does.
Are we saying that Flounder's a simp?
Yes.
Yes, he's the OG simp, is Flounder.
Boy, there's no real easy way to say this, but look, you're a simp.
I also think Sebastian is a simp.
Yes. So,
What do you mean? He's given the most Chad advice.
It's not being followed and he can't do anything about it. I think he's a little bit of a simp.
So when I went to Disney when I was like really young, I got one of those autograph books and had all the characters sign it. And instead of signing it, Ariel just kissed it with like pretty thick lipstick.
Hell yeah.
Woo! This is cool Alden, guys. This is cool Alden.
Yeah, any other movie, like the Little Mermaid remake that's about to come out, I'm sure all of Ariel's sisters are going to be like full fleshed out characters. And every time I watch it, I'm like, how come these aren't like people?
Wait, Aquaman already came out, Jory. What are you talking
Oh
about?
shit, you're right. Never mind.
If I'm being honest, I'm pretty sure King Neptune from the SpongeBob movie would be better in Little Mermaid.
All right, so let's take it to a vote. I'm going to have to say Matt's debate really won me over. I genuinely think Beauty and the Beast should probably be over Little Mermaid. I might have my nostalgia goggles on for that.
I am still going to go with Beauty and the Beast being in this spot instead of Little Mermaid, just because I have to represent redheads.
Alden, what's your vote? Maybe I don't have to be a tiebreaker.
Well, my vote is Beauty and the Beast goes higher.
Shit, am I a tiebreaker?
No, it sounds like three of us are now saying that. Little Mermaid's number 7. Alden, what do you think should be number 6?
A little controversy time, possibly, but The Lion King.
That is definitely controversy.
This is far too low.
Alden, I don't even know you, but I don't even know if I want to continue to know you after this.
Okay, Matt, can I give you a little bit of insight about Alden real quick?
Yes, give me some insight.
Lion King 1.5 is in his top 10 movies of all time.
Top 3.
What? Lion King 1.5? Is that the one that's just the Timon and Pumbaa movie?
Yep.
I'm kind of putting this one a little lower, Tarzan.
Yeah, I'm thinking Tarzan too.
It's not a musical. It's kind of a music video. Besides that one song with like In Sync that was involved in where they're like kicking around on all the drums on the campsite.
Cleaning up the camp. We all know what's up.
They went from Phil Collins to NSYNC.
So did Society.
Yeah, they did, unfortunately.
Phil Collins makes that movie, but I still get chills when I see Tarzan, but as an adult looking back on it, it kind of moved down lower. So I'm arguing Tarzan gets a little lower on this list.
How long has it been since you last saw Tarzan?
Well, if I'm going to be honest, Tarzan was like kind of the one movies I didn't really watch when Nate sent me the list. And so now I feel bad.
No, because I felt the same way that you did until about an hour ago. Decided to start watching Tarzan a little bit. The first couple seconds of this movie immediately pushed it up like 2 or 3 spaces for me.
Yeah, what you were saying about Tarzan not really being a musical, I think actually works in its favor. I felt like after, 10 movies in a row of Disney making these like animated musicals, I think Tarzan really stands out for not following that same formula. The fact that the visuals are as good as they are, and they just were like, you know what, we were going to have the characters sing these Phil Collins songs, but it actually works better if we just have Phil Collins do it. It is so cool. Great soundtrack, great characters.
Yeah, I think it's really bold of the movie to like kind of have the Phil Collins music almost narrate the film, and I think it's really neat.
I have a MIDI keyboard with like a beat pad and everything that I never use. I bought it thinking I was just going to start making music, and I don't at all. But sometimes I love to play the soundtrack to Tarzan and pretend that like I'm Phil Collins.
So as far as other movies nominated for this spot, it sounded like The Lion King for some reason and Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, this is a no contest for me. Beauty and the Beast is sticking out like a sore thumb compared to Lion King and Tarzan for me personally.
Yeah, I agree.
Bring it down, you know.
I'm sorry, you put up a really good fight, but Beauty and the Beast at number 6.
Well, I'll see you guys at the Academy Awards, or you guys will see me at it, and it's all going to be because I was rooting for Beauty and the Beast.
Here goes to Matt King for arguing for Beauty and the Beast. Before we continue, I just want to ask real quick, does anybody else have their top 5 preserved?
No.
No, I have 4 out of the 5.
I also have 4 of the 5. So, Matt, of the top 5 movies that you have on your list, how many of them are still available for the group list?
Beauty and the Beast is now lower. Yeah, 4 of them are still hanging on.
Damn, I'm feeling pretty good then. Well, my number 5 is Tarzan. After that whole spiel we had about it before, I still feel that way about it. However, I still don't think that it's going to eke out the rest of these movies for me, because the rest of these movies are so well beloved in my mind, and I have always had the relationship with them that I do.
See, that's how I feel about another movie on this list we haven't talked about, Mulan.
Mm-mm. You're going to leave that alone.
I'm with Alden on that one.
At my number 6, I have Aladdin. I think it's time to start introducing that into the conversation now that we've hit the top 5.
Aladdin is number 5 for me, so...
Oh no, guys.
Aladdin is number 5 for me as well.
Uh-oh. Jory, we're outnumbered.
Oh no.
But I love Aladdin, but Robin Williams carries that movie, and if he wasn't in it, it would be a pretty stale...
You know what Aladdin would be if Robin Williams was not in it? Aladdin would be a pretty solid Disney movie with some solid villains, starring Jeremy Irons as Jafar and Gilbert Gottfried as Iago. This narrative that Aladdin would be nothing without Robin Williams, no, Robin Williams...
Characters are very two-dimensional. What Matt was saying about The Little Mermaid, there's pretty much no depth to anyone in Aladdin except the genie.
And I feel like you're devaluing like the the environment, the music, the costumes. Like, there's a lot to love about Aladdin outside of Robin Williams' iconic performance as the genie.
I think that in conversations about movies of this era, the popular top two that everybody talks about is The Lion King and what else? Aladdin. I think that putting it at number 5, severe underrating from us.
I hear a lot of Mulan or Beauty and the
I feel like I'm in the Situation Room at the White House right now, and this is
The visual storytelling of Tarzan is far more impressive than anything in Aladdin that just kind of repeats the Disney princess formula but makes it a dude instead.
If this is between Aladdin and Tarzan, my vote is for Tarzan to take this spot.
Then I agree. Then yeah, give Tarzan that spot because Tarzan was lower on my list than Aladdin.
Mine as well.
Yeah.
Tarzan at number 5. Josh, what do you think number 4 on this list should be?
Is it too early to mention Mulan? There's only 4 slots left.
Mulan's my number 4,
Mulan is my number 4.
but I do have Aladdin lower.
Well, sometimes I feel like I need to be like more politically conscious when it comes to these Disney movie rankings. I put Mulan higher because I felt like I'd be a better person if I put Mulan higher than Aladdin.
Wait a minute, why isn't Pocahontas your number 1?
Politically incorrect depiction of history. So that
What are you talking about, Matt? Pocahontas and John Smith were in love and they managed to stop racism.
I don't feel like a better person because Mulan's higher on my list than Aladdin. I just think that Mulan is a better movie structurally. I think they have another great supporting character in Mushu, but unlike in Aladdin, he doesn't overstay his welcome and become the only thing worth watching in the movie. He's a dumb comedic relief character that is really funny and paved the way for movies like Shrek that Alden loves with an undying passion. And Mulan isn't a princess movie, and that's one thing that I really appreciate about it, is it's got a strong female lead that isn't royalty or isn't their main concern isn't, hey, I need to leave this castle because I'm tired of being here my whole life. It is, my country is under attack, my dad is too old to fight, and I need to go defend my country. That is epic.
I agree with what Nate is saying. These two movies, Mulan and Aladdin, are my number 1 and number 2.
Whoa.
Oh.
But because of everything that Nate said and because of the structure of my own list, I can't believe I'm doing this, but I guess I'm going to vote for Aladdin to go at number 4 here.
yes. I'm down for giving it number 4 Aladdin. I don't know. I feel this energy where we're all going to agree on number 1, but let's.
Yeah, it sounds like that.
Well, I didn't see us getting this far with Mulan, so I would nominate Mulan for number 3. But
I agree. It's my number 4. I think Mulan at number 3 is a fine spot.
Personally, The Lion King never really touched me in the way that it seems that it did everybody else.
Obviously same.
I don't think that I have a fight here.
Jory, can I talk to you for a second, just separately? I'm concerned. I'm really concerned about your childhood.
Alden's childhood, putting The Lion King at number 12.
The Lion King is my number 4. The Lion King is Alden's number 12. I feel like that's way worse.
Oh yeah, Alden, I'm concerned about you too.
What are the elements of Mulan that you like better than Lion King, Jory?
The music, the environments, the protagonist. The Lion King never really did it for me as a kid.
Same. I think the storyline in Lion King is fairly dry to me. I'm not a huge fan. I will say the music, the visuals, all of that. And
So you don't like Black Panther 2018?
Or you don't like Hamlet.
Neither of those are some of my favorites, so no, I don't.
discussed this a little bit before in the podcast, but I'm not a fan of Hamlet. And I definitely carries over to Lion King and any other Hamlet remake.
What I really enjoy about The Lion King is it was Disney making a big change in source material and where they were getting their ideas from. Instead of being a retelling of a Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale and then adding musical numbers, they did a lot more of creative writing, in my opinion, and taking a Shakespearean play and tweaking it and trying to make it as kid-friendly as possible, but also tie it into this theme of the circle of life. And I think the theming of Lion King is greater than that of the theming of Mulan. I just think the characters and the journey they go on in Mulan is better.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Mulan at number 3, the top 2, the 2 greatest Disney Renaissance movies, The Lion King and a Goofy movie. This is exactly how I saw it shaping out, guys. I'm going to be completely honest.
I'm going to be the first one to mention it. Who has a Goofy movie at number 1?
Me.
Me.
The whole panel, except for Jory, has Goofy movie at number 1.
Sounds like it.
That's hilarious.
This is history. We are culture, boys.
I will say that if I didn't know Nate, Goofy movie would not be my number 3. but I'm going to go with my own opinion on this one.
Yeah, this is my number 1 and 2. Going back to what my sister Grace said, because I had The Lion King as my number 1 for a while. My little sister told me, Josh, when you were younger, every time we went on a family road trip, the first movie you would pop in is a Goofy movie. You watch that shit all the time. Like, think about it. Not even like think about Nate for a second. Like, that has to be like one of your most like watched Disney movies of all time.
Wait, your sister told you to stop thinking about Nate?
Well, she's like, forget about Nate's bias for a second. She's like, that your own opinion, like you love a Goofy movie and you just don't remember.
When I have kids, what am I going to be more excited to share with them? The Lion King or a Goofy movie? For me, it's a Goofy movie. And maybe we have a weird connection with the Goofy movie because we knew the characters of Disney really well. I don't know what Goofy is going to be like in the Disney mind space when you're young in the future. Gosh, a Goofy movie is so good.
I actually got my first taste of that, Matt. My nephew's favorite movie right now is a Goofy movie. He's watching it all the time, and I have hope for the future generations because a Goofy movie is such a strong and mature movie. It's a great story about a damaged father and son relationship, and through lying and deceit, their relationship worsens. But by the end of the day, they have this undeniable like love for each other. It's a relationship you can't contest. In a list of movies here that have, I don't want to say like problems with the parental figures of their movies, but I mean, everyone's parents are dying left and right, or they're a sort of antagonist, like in The Little Mermaid. In a Goofy movie, the conflict between Max and Goofy is what sells the movie.
No, not all of us can relate to Simba's struggle with his uncle killing his father and then having to go achieve the kingdom of Animal Kingdom. But at some point in our lives, we all have complicated relationships with our father and our desires of our social life and trying to figure out what we want versus what we need to do.
I think Lion King got so high for me because I think it does the Scar and Mufasa relationship really well. I think that's why also Prince of Egypt was really high when we ranked the DreamWorks movies, because I think a brother and brother arc could be really good if it's done well.
To me, Lion King is the epic of the Disney Renaissance. It is the biggest movie. It's the most in scope. It's huge. The animation, the scope of it is massive. The Lion King is an epic, and I think that a Goofy movie just edges it out a little bit for being so grounded. It is like a small coming-of-age indie drama that happens to be a Disney animated movie.
Yes, I agree, Nate. Nate, if you were running for office, you'd have my vote. You're very well spoken about.
I'm going to make a Goofy movie required in every single school in the country. Goofy movie is now replacing mathematics.
If I became a college professor, I would have my own class called The Rhetoric of the Goofy Movie, and we would just dissect it over and over. In my mind, I always thought that the scene where Goofy, you know, how he works at the mall and he takes family photos and portraits and stuff, and he has that, you know, he sees all those little fishing bobbleheads and the light is spinning around. I always thought he goes, manifest destiny, but he says lake destiny. Like this whole time, I thought it was manifest destiny, and I thought that was like the meaning of the whole movie, because it is like manifest destiny, but it's lake destiny, and that was the target of where he wanted to go.
Damn, so Goofy hates Pocahontas.
You said me and my buddy, anytime we see each other, we just like shout, Robert Zimmerowski.
Science slumber party.
I was thinking that same thing. He's like, what about science slumber parties?
What's up with like the Tevin Campbell whole thing? Because Eye to Eye, I think, is on Spotify, but Stand Out isn't on Spotify.
It's the other way around. Stand Out is on Spotify. Eye to Eye is not.
Eye to Eye just got added back to Spotify this month, actually.
Yo, really?
Yeah, I was listening to it the other day.
And Goofy Movie soundtrack is so good. It's like in all my playlists. Like, and when it comes on and I'm like, let's say I've got a couple friends over, we got a Bluetooth speaker playing and Goofy Movie songs come on, no one asks to skip the song ever. It's this unwritten thing.
Oh, it's so good. I'm getting chills, like goosebumps all around me thinking of it.
Those are Goofy Movie bumps. Those are goof bumps.
Oh no.
Goof bumps. That should be the name of the sequel.
Should I say my list first? I'll go first. Number 12, The Rescuers Down Under. Number 11, DuckTales. Number 10, Pocahontas. Number 9, Hunchback of Notre Dame. Number 8, Hercules. Number 7, Beauty and the Beast. Number 6, Mulan. Number 5, Tarzan. Number 4, The Little Mermaid. Number 3, Aladdin. Number 2, The Lion King. And number 1, a Goofy movie.
And number 12 is The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Number 11, DuckTales Treasure of the Lost Lamp. Number 10, Pocahontas. Number 9, Beauty and the Beast. Number 8, Hercules. Number 7, The Rescuers Down Under. Number 6, Aladdin. Number 5, The Little Mermaid. Number 4, Mulan. Number 3, Tarzan. Number 2, The Lion King. And number 1, a Goofy movie.
Number 12, DuckTales. 11, Pocahontas. 10, Hunchback. 9, The Little Mermaid. 8, Tarzan. 7, Rescuers Down Under. 6, Hercules. 5, Aladdin. 4, Mulan. 3, The Lion King. 2, Beauty and the Beast. Screw you guys. And number 1, a Goofy movie.
It happens to the best of us, Matt.
It literally happens to at least 1 or 2 people every time.
Number 12, The Rescuers Down Under. Number 11, DuckTales the movie. Number 10, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Number 9, Pocahontas. Number 8, Beauty and the Beast. Number 7, Hercules. Number 6, The Little Mermaid. Number 5, Tarzan. Number 4, The Lion King. Number 3, a Goofy movie. Number 2, Aladdin. Number 1, Mulan.
I'm contemplating, should I read my list with Lion King where it should be at number 6? Or
Yes, read it as you went into this list, Alden.
I already said it was number 12. Yeah.
all right, number 12, The Lion King. 11, Pocahontas. 10, DuckTales. 9, Tarzan. 8, Hercules. 7, Hunchback. 6, Little Mermaid. 5, Aladdin. 4, Beauty and the Beast. 3, Rescuers Down Under. 2, Mulan. 1, a Goofy movie.
The group list: number 12, DuckTales Treasure of the Lost Lamp. Number 11, Hunchback of Notre Dame. Number 10, Pocahontas. Number 9, The Rescuers Down Under. Number 8, Hercules. Number 7, The Little Mermaid. 6, Beauty and the Beast. 5, Tarzan. 4, Aladdin. 3, Mulan. 2, The Lion King. And number 1, a Goofy movie.
Boom!
There it is.
Guys, I think this is one of our best lists ever, if I'm being completely honest.
I agree.
Yeah, I like the way it turned out.
As long as you're not a nerd theater kid like Matt.
Hey, I'm glad I came in.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of Duel of the Takes. Be sure to tune into the podcast. We had the opportunity to interview Matt about his excellent new show, Hoot and a Half, available wherever you listen to podcasts. Also in this episode, we finally heard Alden's in-depth take on Lion King and got to hear the story of Matt living down the street from the filming location of Rick Dalton's house in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Currently, over 50% of our viewers aren't subscribed, so please, subscribe if you haven't already.